Hi, everybody. This is David Vesterlund from increv.co, doing my first live streaming here on YouTube. Felt that I wanted to try the live streaming and talk a little bit, not so much about SEO, but more about entrepreneurship and why I shifted from finance to SEO and link building advisory. And actually, we might share some screen later and show some outreach, or maybe I'll do a video about it. We'll see what happens. But anyways, I've been running this business now for 7 years as a limited private company, and 2 years before that, more like a gigging within finance or in SEO, while I was still in the finance industry. Before that, I was 12 years in finance and financial advisory. Um, so I started my career pretty early, actually. I was 21 years old when I got my license for selling financial products like stocks and mutual funds. And I started in finance after only 2 years in university, actually. I was doing cold calling um, as an extra work when I was studying, first in high school, then in university. Back in those days, when you were doing like cold calling, you had these real phones, you were tapping in the number, and then you called, and then you called. And in Sweden, we had wealth taxes. So you could contact the tax authority and run a list with everybody who had at least $500,000 in wealth or in money on the bank, or 5 million Swedish crowns, because they were paying taxes on that. So they taxed 1% every year of their fortune to the government. So you could take out the list with everybody who had at least $500,000 on their bank account, and then you could just call them. You could buy from a service their phone numbers, and then you could call them. So we called like 300 people every night. In my days before I started this agency, I did like more than 10,000 cold calls. So I was calling a lot, um, and I hated the job from the beginning. Actually, it was not something I wanted to do. It was just to earn extra money during my time as when I was studying, because a lot of my friends were working like in the grocery store, and they earned like $6, $7, $8 per hour, and I earned like $40 per meeting I booked with a client to one of those financial advisors. So a pretty quick calculation was like, okay, $6 an hour, that's 7 hours in the grocery store, or booking one meeting by phone. And I could go there and work from like 6 o'clock at night to 9 o'clock, so 3 hours. And in a bad night, I didn't book a single meeting. I called 300 people. I talked to 30, 40. I didn't get one single meeting. So that was crap. No money earned for that job. But after a while, I realized that if I don't follow the script, if I talk to people and tell jokes and kind of connect with them, and then I talk about things that are relevant. I was reading the economy newspaper every day when I was going with the train to my job. And if it said anything about some stock going up or some interest going down or whatever happened, I talked about that. I called people and I was like, hey, this is David from the Financial House or whatever they were called. Have you read the newspaper today? The economy newspaper? And everybody was, what? Yeah, of course, or not. What do you mean? And I was like, yeah, did you read about that? This, the huge Swedish company Ericsson, they're firing 50 people now, or 5,000 people, or they're launching this new product, or anything. Something on the first page of the news. And they were like, yeah, I recall. I read about that. Why? Yeah, because if they fire 5,000 people, that's gonna happen something with your stock on the stock market. And do you have control of your investments, so you know if you're protected or not, or if you're having this risk or not. So instead of talking about like some sort of script, like, hey, I'm David, this is the finance house, we're super good, yada yada, I talked about what's relevant in the market now. And usually we're like, yeah, well, it's about, I don't know, but maybe I'm protected, I'm not sure. And when they were connected and had a real talk about something they read in the newspaper, I could connect with them and they understood that, no, I don't know 100% about my investments and savings and my pensions. So maybe it would be good to meet up with an advisor who can tell me how to get control of my investments. So I usually tagged along a lot about the insecurity. And if they were not 100% sure about what happened with their investments, if something changed in the market, I could book a meeting. So sometimes I booked one meeting in those 3 hours, and then I earned twice as much as a grocery store. Sometimes I booked 3 or 4 meetings, and then I earned like, what was that, 4 meetings? That's $160 for 3 hours of work. That's pretty good money. That's like, what's that, $50 an hour? And I was like 18 years old, going to high school, doing this at night. So I was doing a lot of cold calls. And then I studied engineering degree in math and economics, like industrial economics and management. And after 2 years, we had this guy coming, an alumni had studied our school for 5 years, and he worked at a bank as a stockbroker. And he talked about his job. And I realized that this guy is doing the same thing as I'm doing. He's calling, pitching clients, selling stocks on the phone, but he's got a degree, and that degree or that license gives him the authority to sign off for deals on phone. I didn't have that license, so I needed to book a meeting so they could go to an advisor and sign off for the deal. So I realized that, okay, I'm doing the same process as this guy, the same process, the same talk, the same everything. Yeah, he has 5 years in school. I have two. He had been stockbroker for 2 years. I have been cold calling for 3 years. So I've been working with this a longer time than him, but I didn't have the license to sign off for deals. So my girlfriend at the time, who is now my wife and the mother of my wonderful two children, she told me, "Well, you're really good at booking meetings, so call some financial advisory firms and book a meeting for an interview." So I actually did that. I called around and I found agent or financial advisory firm in Linköping, where we live in the town. Booked a meeting with them, and I talked about why they should hire me as a trainee, and they actually did. So I dropped out of university after 2 years and started as a trainee in financial advisement. Uh, it was commission based only. It was cold calling, and I needed to call and book my own meetings and have those meetings together with my supervisor and sign off deals. And when we did deals, I got a piece of the commission. And booking meetings was pretty easy. Closing deals in real life was much tougher than I thought. Much tougher than I thought. I thought, yeah, well, I called from this super nice finance firm that nobody knows about, but we're super kind and we know what we're talking about. We have a suit and a tie and talk about the market. Everybody will invest. But no, they invested with a stockbroker in the big bank because they knew the big bank since 100 years back. Nobody knew about us. So we needed to book the meetings, build trust, have 2, 3, 4, 5 meetings, and finally some of them invested. So it took 6 months. 6 months. I had like 5, 6 client meetings per week for 6 months. And then I scored my first deal. So that's like, say 20, 100, 120 client meetings before I did my first deal. And I realized that you don't do a deal with someone in the first meeting. Hey, you don't even talk about money in the first meeting. Because, in the first meeting, you need to build trust. You need to get to know each other. And when you talk about money, it gets personal and sensitive, and people get scared and they move back. So you need to open up and talk and get to know each other. So you need one meeting to get to know each other. You need another meeting to tell them about the good parts in your business, why you're differentiated from the big banks. And you need a third meeting where you present what you can do better than what they have today and give them a financial plan. And usually a fourth meeting to sign the deal. After a few years, I could narrow it down to like 2 meetings, sometimes 3. But in the beginning, it was 4 meetings, sometimes 5 meetings to close a deal. And then I stayed in that industry for like 10, 12 years or something. But after a while, I realized that it's pretty hard to add value in the financial industry. And I would like to do something else. Because if you invest in a stock or a mutual fund, if the fund goes up or if it goes down, it's nothing I have control over. The only value I can add is the risk management. So if it goes down, you don't lose more than 10% of your savings, for example, and the market drops 30%. That's good risk management, especially if the client does not want to lose more than 10%. So the only thing you can add value as financial advisor in the finance industry is to do risk management. We also had a trouble with the clients. They didn't want to meet us. They didn't want to do other stuff. But we wanted them to know that we were there and we could help them out in a lot of ways, even though they didn't have meetings with us. So we started doing a lot of digital marketing. We did like IP, banner marketing, email marketing, Google Ads. We tried everything. Everything just to make sure that the clients, even though they didn't meet up with us, they would actually know about us. So when they were open for talking about investments, then they would talk to us. So all of this with the different marketing approaches made me realize that marketing is much more fun than selling mutual funds and talking about risk management. Marketing is straight up, you can add value. If it converts, you see that you help the client earn money or yourself earn money. So it's really straightforward. If it doesn't work, you spend money and you don't win. If it works, you spend money and you win more than you spend. So really nice with marketing. And another thing I realized was that Google is a super powerful way of getting clients. I mean, if you rank on Google, for example, marketing consultant, and there are 3,000 people searching on that keyword every month, and you're number one, 1,000 of those will go into your website. If you convert 5%, that's 50 requests for clients that you get from ranking in the top. And if you don't use Google Ads, if you rank up organically, you get this traffic for free. Of course, it costs time and money to grow your organic presence, but when you're in the top, you get the clients for free. So if you're in top on that keyword, you get 50 requests every month, 50, 100, 150, 200, 250. It never stops. As long as you're number one, you never stop getting clients or selling products. So ranking top on Google, I realized was a really, really good investment for a lot of companies. And then back in 2016, 2017, I read the PhD study that the founders of Google created, Larry Page and Sergey Brin. 96, they started Google. Before that, they did research on Stanford, and they wrote a thesis that was called A Modest Approach to Structure the World Wide Web. And in that, they had 24 million websites that they structured up under a subdomain on Stanford and tried different ways to index these and rank them. That's when they created the PageRank algorithm. And the PageRank algorithm sounds complex, but it's super simple. It's so simple that a third grade could understand it. The PageRank algorithm is the quota of the number of inbound links divided with the number of outbound links. So 10 links in, 1 link out, that's 10 in PageRank. 100 links in, 1 link out, that's 100 PageRank, and you rank better than the other ones. So I found the PageRank algorithm. And I realized that if you want to rank high on Google, you need a lot of websites that write about you and link to you. So you get a lot of links. And there's also a lot of publishers. There's a lot of bloggers. I mean, influencer is like one of the most common jobs today. There are millions of people that are calling themselves influencers. And they want to earn money on their websites. So there's a lot of people here who want to earn money on their website. And over here, there's a lot of people who want the links to rank up on Google. So to move those links from here to here, you need a middleman. You need a broker, an advisor. This SEO, like real off-page SEO, high quality off-page SEO, was a market with no marketplace that needed a middleman, a broker. And it's also very complex to get the right link profile. So you don't only need a broker, you need an advisor. You need someone that helps you, that really understands what websites should link to you and in what way to make you rank and not get punished by Google. So it's a market with no marketplace. That means that you need a broker and you don't need a salesman, you need an advisor who can help you for real. So we started IncRev and realized that we're going to be that middleman, the broker. And the problem in this industry is that the way people do to get links, to work with link building or guest posting, for example, they do it in a very simple way. Usually you gather a list with a lot of websites you want to have a link on, and then you send a lot of emails. People are cold emailing, cold, cold. A cold email is very impersonal. So what we did early was, okay, you don't need hundreds of links. Maybe you need 10 good links that are really, really good. So instead of contacting hundreds of websites down here that are kind of decent, we contacted 10, 20, 30 that are up here that are pretty, really, really good websites, like real newspaper magazines and real like high-end bloggers or sports sites or whatever. And you don't cold call them, or actually you do cold call them. You don't cold email them. You cold call them and you talk to them and you book a meeting with them and you tell them what your business is and what you're doing, that you're connecting publishers with websites that need publications. So you're like a PR agent. And with that approach, we crushed the competition. We got links where no one else got links. We got these super nice exclusive homepage links that we only could publish for one of our clients and one link, and it got super much power to the client, and they ranked up and they earned a lot of money. So instead of like buying hundreds of crappy links like everybody else, we were brokering a few super high-end links. So we did business to business high-end deals that no one else did back in those days. I mean, 2019, you didn't almost even have email marketing tools, but people were emailing by hand. And of course, we did some email outreach and we had the standard products. But what really differentiated us in this market was the high-end deals that we did and no one else did. And actually, today, we're still doing these high-end deals that no one else does. And I'm gonna do a video to show you about guest posting and how you can do guest posting in a unique and proper way. Because if you find hundreds of websites and you email them, how much cost a link? Hi, I would like to do a guest post. They don't bother. They don't like you. You don't bring any value to the table. But if you find a few websites that doesn't rank on the sort of content that you provide, that you want to rank on, but they should rank on it because the readers wants it. For example, you're a business broker. I run a business broker business as well, and you want to write content about how to do valuations of e-com business, or how to buy and sell e-com business, or how do you do valuation of different parts of the e-com store, like the warehouse or their website, etc. And you have an e-commerce news website that don't have any content about buying and selling, like acquisition and valuation of e-com stores. And then you contact them. You can give them a call and say, hey, I'm running this business broker and I really like your magazine. I read a lot in it. But seriously, I haven't once read an article about valuation or acquisition or selling an e-com store. You don't have this content. Why? I can help you. I can provide this content if you want it. I'm sure I like to read about it. My clients who work in e-com, they want to read about it. A lot of people want to read about it. You can get it from me for free. I can be your freelance writer for free. Just put the content on your website because I'm sure your readers will like it. We can do it like this. Take one piece of content about why you should wait, for example, by selling your e-com store, why you should wait and not sell it as soon as there is a buyer. Why you should try to find several buyers and do a structured sales process. We'll take this, write this bit of content, you put it on your website, and then we wait. If you don't get any readers, remove it. If people read it and like it and say that this is really good content, we get hundreds of readers, thousands of readers, then I can do more. I can publish 5 more articles. Let's do a test. And hopefully they'll be like, yeah, that sounds reasonable. You give us a piece of content, we put it on our website. If you get a lot of readers, then we're serving our client, and that's great. And if it doesn't work, we pick it down. And probably you have done good research, you know what they want. They will have readers. It will be a success, or at least as good enough so they will keep it on the website. This is what I did with my e-com brokerage store or business, and I actually published 4 or 5 articles on a big e-com news website in Sweden, and became their like freelance writer with valuation, etc. And it didn't only give me a link to my business brokerage website. it also gave me real leads. I have done like 2 or 3 transactions where the seller read this article. They Googled on what to think about when selling an e-com store. They found this article on News Magazine. They read it. You went to my website. They read there. They gave me a call, and then I helped them sell it. And in one of those cases, I got $80,000 in commission. $80,000, 800,000 Swedish crowns in commission. And it started by reading this guest post. So, I mean, doing guest posts the real way is adding value to everybody, to the reader, to the publisher, and to your website. And it gives you much more than just a link. The link is nice, but there's so much more into it. So I'm going to do a video where I show you exactly how this guest posting works. Like high-end guest posting. If you have any questions, of course, just write a comment, write to me on LinkedIn, shoot an email. I'm David Vesterlund, running the link building advisory increm.co. And yeah, thanks for today. Bye.